Right Side News, bringing you the right news for the right side. I'm Jim Hoel, and I am your voice. Thank you. Welcome to another edition of the Hoel Report. Tonight's special, silenced on social media, the great conservative purge. It is an issue that has come to a head very much so recently, and it needs to be investigated and it needs to be dealt with because it is starting to become an alarming trend on social media, and the repercussions could be nightmarish. So we really need to take a look at this here and see what the heck's going on, because this is un-American. It's un-American. It violates First Amendment rights, and it's wrong. So over the weekend, Laura Loomer, former Project Veritas employee and journalist, she was banned from Twitter for reasons that are not clear. An American hero and Iraq War veteran, Jesse Kelly, was banned from Twitter. He was not given an answer why. An American hero, a soldier, a man who put his life on the line and paid for our freedom with his own blood, was banned from Twitter. You have all these conservative voices, or voices that are deemed conservative. They're being banned. Another one, Liz Conklin, a longtime advocate for sex crime victims, banned from Twitter. All because they have conservative opinions. Opinions that obviously have gotten them banned. But my question is why? This goes to, and this has been going on for a long time. From the very beginning, starting off, Milo Yiannopoulos, banned from Twitter, given the Twitter death penalty, Ricky the Wild Thing Vaughn, InfoWars, countless American nationalists, not white nationalists, or not even white supremacists, but American nationalists, patriots, and now American war veterans. We are having our nation's finest banned from Twitter and social media platforms for daring to express their opinion. And this is something I know a thing or two about. You have all of these conservative voices, and all their excuses for being banned are, in fact, I have it right here. Laura Loomer, Jesse Kelly, Liz Conklin, American nationalists, patriots, veterans. They're all being thrown in and compared to and called far-right, alt-right, conspiracy theorists, white nationalists, Nazis, racists, xenophobes, homophobes, and pretty much any kind of name in the book that you could call them to try to grasp at straws as to why they can be banned, when it just clearly isn't the case. There has been no due process in this at all. This is all when Twitter or a social media platform decides to ban somebody or give them the death penalty, the Twitter death penalty. It's all arbitrary. There is no due process. And oftentimes, you're just sent a link saying that you're banned. There's no way to challenge it. There's no way to appeal it. There's nothing, and it is becoming a very dangerous trend. And let me tell you why. It is because the mainstream media in this country is not trusted. They're dying out. And I believe now the left is freaking out, and they don't know what to do. So, these social media platforms and companies that are all headquartered in the wonderful liberal bastion of California, led by, let's just say, maybe staffs of people who do not share many of the values of the rest of the United States, just go in and pick out tweets or posts that they don't like, they flag them, and they ban them. All because they're conservative. And it's un-American. It's unheard of. To be arbitrarily banned from a social media platform when there's no clear-cut evidence that any of these people have said anything racist or white supremacist or homophobic or xenophobic, or they're conspiracy theorists, or they're far-right or alt-right, or whatever you want to call them. But they have no evidence at all. They just get pissed because, they know that what they're saying is right, but they're so mentally ill that they just can't see through that. And instead of trying to discuss or bring an argument to the table, they would rather just ban them for life. Give them the Twitter death penalty. It's when people, and that's when you got them. I mean, you got them when they have nothing else but to ban you. Well, okay, but the thing is, when there are voices that need to be heard and are very good and deserve to be heard, who are being banned and being arbitrarily cut off, and without due process, without any kind of evidence, or for example, I was thrown in Twitter jail for 24 hours. What happened was I called Hillary a lying bitch, and then about 3 weeks, a month later, I finally got a notification that I was being suspended for 24 hours or something because I'd called Hillary a lying bitch 3 weeks prior. So, the statute of limitations, come on. You're gonna start retroactively banning people for shit they said 4 weeks ago? Because I called Hillary a lying bitch, I was thrown in Twitter jail. That's how ridiculous these people are. And Jack, he really should be ashamed. Because the kind of crap that his platform, and it's his platform. I don't know who the hell is running it, and I don't care. All right, it's his platform. And he goes and allows all these conservative voices and Iraq war veterans, heroes, patriots, American nationalists, all be banned. All the while, the amount of just morally corrupt and disgusting and sickening things that is allowed to go on his platform. I'm talking pedophilia. I'm talking convicted child rapists. I'm talking, minors, these minors and adults organizations, and all sorts of vile, evil, disgusting things. Child molesters, pedophiles, all allowed on Twitter, all just given free reign. No checks and nobody checks on them, what they're tweeting. Nobody cares, I guess, on Twitter. But when you have people advocating for pedophilia and child rape and child molesters and these sick and disgusting people and these vile acts, and you have Twitter and Jack that would rather go and hunt down, hardworking, ordinary, average American citizens, war veterans, heroes, nationalists, patriots, When you would rather go hunt them down and ban them for the tweets they're posting, which you just don't like because it makes too much sense, and you just don't like the fact that you're wrong. But when you would rather go and hunt them down and ban them for life from Twitter, when you have actual criminals, actual felons, sex offenders on Twitter tweeting this shit all the time. I mean, go on to look at it. I mean, there's, you know, I mean, there is ample evidence of this, of child molesters, jokes about child molestation, pedophiles, you know, minors and adults, you know, LGBTQ pedophile, which, by the way, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's an insult to any gay American. To lump pedophilia in with homosexuality, not only is that scientifically and factually wrong, it's insulting. All right, so let's separate, you know, the criminal and the criminally insane from the normal people who may just happen to like to have a good time in the bedroom with, you know, two consenting adults. You know, I got nothing wrong with that. You know, But when you would rather ban them than people who advocate for child molestation and rape, and would rather have their tweets posted and giving them a platform even is so evil and beyond anything I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you could change Twitter to the child molesters platform. You know, you're gonna have Twitter with advocating for underage, you know, adults and kids. I don't even want to think about it. Really, it disgusts me so much. I can't even think about it. But when you waste time banning, innocent people, heroes, veterans, great Americans, patriots, you go and ban them. But then you allow that crap to go on? Pedophilia? You're a sick son of a bitch. Let me tell you. You're a sick son of a bitch. And it's wrong. And it's wrong on so many levels that I can't even begin. An Iraq War veteran was banned from Twitter over the weekend. And you got people advocating for pedophilia that are still not banned and still have active Twitter accounts. But, you'd rather go ban, Milo or Ricky Vaughn, Wild Thing Vaughn or any of that, which, is just outrageous for one thing. It's outrageous. And I was arguing with some guy the other night. First of all, no, Milo is not a pedophile. Okay, it's just not true. He made some off-color remarks that were highly inappropriate, and he paid dearly for them. And, but how is it fair for him to have to go through that when you still have these pedophiles and child molesters active Twitter accounts? I mean, there's jokes and there's joking around, and I don't find any of it funny. But, there's people who are serious about that shit. But, they went and banned, and that wasn't even why Milo got banned. He got banned because he decided to go and troll the black lady from the Ghostbusters movie, which I never even saw, so I don't even know how it was, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of funny, but what do you know? He gets a Twitter death penalty. Ricky the Wild Thing Vaughn, I don't even know what he did. I didn't follow him that closely, but he was, me and Ricky the Wild Thing Vaughn, we had a kindred spirit, but Twitter death penalty. All these people, all these accounts that were loved, that were conservative, or sure, maybe call them alt-right. I don't really care. The definition of alt-right First of all, it's a made-up definition. It's changed about 15 times since I first heard of it. Yes, different people. Somebody will tell you it's a bunch of white nationalists. Other people will tell you it's just a bunch of disaffected Republicans who wanted something new. Then you get people who say that it's just nothing but a bunch of BS. But I don't care. What matters to me is the fairness that we have on social media. And this is not fair. It's disgusting, it's reprehensible, and it's wrong. And, Twitter better figure its shit out and fast, or else they're going to lose everything they have. Because there's really only one man right now that if he ever decided to leave Twitter, Twitter would be destroyed. Jack should be kissing the president's ass right now. I mean, if it wasn't for him and what he's done for Twitter, then there would be no Twitter. Mark my words. So Jack, if you want to go around and betray, and first of all, you are a traitor. You are a traitor. You betray your own kind, and you know what I'm talking about. You want to have pedophiles on your platform rather than good conservative Americans. Patriots, war veterans, fighters. Well, mark my words, my friend, you're going to fight a war you're going to lose because we're getting fed up with this shit. So go ahead and keep banning people arbitrarily without explanation, or you could find a tweet I had from 2 or 3 years ago and then retroactively ban me because I called Hillary Clinton a bitch. Which, by the way, she is a bitch, and I'm not the only one who feels that way. Hillary Clinton is a lying bitch. But I may get banned for saying that, I don't know. But this is ridiculous, and it needs to stop. Or else we're going to see, a real problem in America. And we're trying to, the bottom line is we're trying to heal a nation, not divide it more. And when you start banning conservative voices or people who may be deemed conservative in favor of child molesters, that's a world turned upside down, and that's not a world I want to live in. So I'm going to fight like hell to change it. And I hope all you listening out there do too. So, anyway, that's all the time we have for this special report. Hopefully, we'll continue to monitor this situation closely and see what else is going to be done about it. And, conservatives get banned all the time. It's funny how you never hear liberals saying the same thing because they don't. They don't bother. They'll let them spew their hatred and everything about their disdain and disgust, and the people who issue there's people who issue death threats all day long to the President of the United States, and they don't get banned from Twitter. It's funny. I have never reported any tweet, with the exception of death threats to the President of the United States. That's the only exception I've ever made. In my mind, you can say whatever the hell you want. If I don't like it, I don't have to listen. But the only time I have ever reported anything on social media is when it came to threats of harming someone or death threats against the president. And I'll still make that vow today. I'll at least make that vow, but, others will just, even though they're making death threats and threatening to kill the president and his family, they're still allowed on Twitter. They're not banned. So we need to tell you, Twitter and social media in itself in Silicon Valley, you all need to take a big look in the mirror at the kind of future you're looking at. Because, you may live in your little bubble in LA or Chicago or New York, but here in the heartland and pretty much everywhere else outside of there, we don't share your radical liberal ideology where pedophilia is normalized and, you can just do whatever the hell you want and rape kids and it's just anarchy. It's anarchists. And it's not the kind of country I want to live in. So, with that being said, it's a big issue and it's one that needs to be handled and we're going to deal with it. But we'll keep you all informed. So, that's about all the time we have for now. For Right Side News reporting, I'm Jim Hoel. I am your voice. Thank you and good night.